Hi everyone, welcome to what is hopefully going to be a new reoccurring series on this channel. By the title, I'm starting a new reaction series called Nostalgic Reactions or Nostalgia Reactions. The name is pending. Whatever is the title of the video is whatever we're gonna get. This is more of a sudden idea that came to me. For some context about why this came to happen, Little Shy Fam just released their Pixel War 2 video talking about r/place. That little history event that happens on Reddit where you place pixels and create art. And it's an hour long, and I watched that, and it just got me nostalgic for just fandom stuff. It's been a while since the fandom has been very prominent, very strong. It still exists, but it's not as noticeable as it used to be. Especially in the Brony reaction community. There's hardly anyone left or anyone around still doing stuff. It used to be a new episode of Pony would come out. I'd be excited to do my reaction to it. Reaction, quote unquote. Then while that's editing, I'd go and watch 5 different reaction videos to the exact same episodes by different content creators. So within a few hours, throughout the entire day, I had different reactors, Brony reactors, to go to watch these episodes. And so when r/place came out, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is a fun video. My thought immediately went, oh, let's go find a reaction video to it and just see other people's thoughts. And then it hit me, like, oh, wait, we can't. Because that side of the fandom is kind of dead. Which is really sad. You know, I do kind of believe that the fandom is quote-unquote dying, but it's more so, it's dying in the same way that a body naturally dies. A person doesn't just die immediately. No, something happens, like their organs start to give way, their legs don't work as well as they used to, they lose their eyesight. And in the same way, factions, different groups and communities within the Brony fandom would shrivel up and die, and that's sadly what has been happening to the Brony reaction community. There's not that many people still doing content, like big names such as Blank Check, who at one point I believe reached 100,000 subscribers, or was it 1 million? One of those two, and they disappeared after the show ended. Rarity Dash is one of the big names who was back in the time, and then they kind of switched to other things. Many reactors retired, moved on to other stuff, myself included, and so there just wasn't much to go on. I checked every once in a while to see if there's any new reactor, and there's a couple out there that are starting out, but some of them don't last as long, because Fanning Out is the most notable new reactor within the past year and a half, and they had to halt production due to financial situations, which is sad, but it is what happened. So here we are now, like, I'm reminiscing on the good old days where I used to go to BronyCon and talk to other bronies and just get excited for new content. I haven't really seen any pony content in a while besides the Little Shy stuff. I'm not as my ear is not as great into the pulse of the fandom as it used to be. I got nostalgic and just started watching some old videos, some old reaction videos, some anthology videos, a couple animations here and there, and I just come up with the idea of maybe doing a reaction commentary on just some of the stuff that I was nostalgic towards, like the Mentally Advanced series. It's one of the very first Pony Brony series creations that I watched, and it's kind of the main reason I got into the fandom. And so I had watched the whole thing. I'd watched Rainbow Dash Presents, Friendship is Witchcraft, a bunch of other stuff, big animations that were great at the time, and I didn't do any reactions to them. That's probably my biggest regret about doing reaction videos. It's like, ooh, if I started earlier, I could have had these big name stuff on my channel. But I'm just gonna take a step back, just unwind, rewind, go back in time, just watch some of this stuff again. I've seen them many times, but I'm gonna just take a step back, experience the nostalgia, talk about my growth, my experience through watching these things, and just see how they started and how they evolved. Hopefully this experiment works out. Hopefully we'll see. So yeah, the first episode, or the first part here, we're going to be doing Mentally Advanced series. The first 5 episodes. Yeah, just picking a number here. It's been a while since I've seen the show. It used to be one of the top things I'd watch. But yeah, why don't we just get started into the reaction?
My little ponies, my little ponies.
Ah, right. Forgot that they start with this. With this.
Hey, Joella, I just want to thank y'all for helping me pick them apples.
Whatever that was.
Ooh wee. No problem, Applejack. I'm surprised you didn't ask me sooner, you being a filthy earth pony and all.
Right. The racism. Of course.
Dear Twilight.
Yeah, I can.
Having a wonderful time down there in
Keep in mind that this is
in the magical city of Canterlot. Just
Greg's
to keep
first
you
time
for a life of luxury,
doing a
here's
lot
2
of this
tickets to
stuff.
the
The
Grand
first time
Gallery
voice
Ball.
acting,
Enjoy.
the writing, the editing.
2 tickets, I'll get out of this raffle
So
prison for a whole day.
really, compared to what he did later on, this is
You know,
still
this is more than likely some
something.
kind of spy setup. Please, Spike, don't crush my dreams.
Even the sound effects
Oh,
aren't
you got tickets to
the
kill.
greatest.
Take me. Well, I need to be emotionally validated by my childhood idols.
Yeah, even like Rainbow Dash's voice is nothing compared to what she would end up being later on. Here, in the beginning, it was more so to reflect Christopher Walken, but later on it just turned to something just adorable and hilarious.
Sweet crimson hot dogs, lucky. These are for me. They will complete the prophecies. Yes,
This
please.
Pinky is always a weird one too. Like this series just has a great cast of characters. That they just hold up so well by the end. That's an interesting thought to think of. Like, which abridged series has the better main 6? Alright, here's a quiet moment where there's just not enough going on. Like some sound effects for Angel running would have helped with that. But the music is just a good way to keep this going as well.
No.
Even though some of the mixing with the audio could
Just as friends, though.
be done as well.
Are you stalking me? Well, yes, but that isn't fair. You know how much attention I need. Why don't you take me as a date? Fluttershy probably won't even put out.
Yeah. Imagine these types of lines given to later Rainbow Dash, who was more stupid. This is... I don't know. I can't imagine the older voice coming out of this Rainbow Dash.
Listen up, every pony. Oh, but Twilight... No, listen carefully. Everyone shut up.
Yeah. And they just run away. It wasn't a leave, it's just a shut up.
I'm beginning to think that this is one of Celestia's little spaz errands after all.
Oh, right, Celestia.
Shovel craft.
Leader Celestia. Tyrant Celestia.
Into my life.
Wow. A lot of great ideas in this show. It's also very interesting, because I watched Rainbow Dash Presents before I watched this, and so I had a perspective of mystery around the world of Ponyville and Equestria. Like, there's a lot that was unexplored. And so coming here into this series is like, huh. Because obviously the two worlds look slightly different.
Are you gonna rain
And then
on
finally watching the show, it's like, huh. The expectations that I had for the world was not the same. And so it was,
Oh, yeah.
it was something. It was different. Eventually it grew on me.
Twilight.
Gotta rewatch this show someday.
So angry.
Ooh.
This here's a pie.
Look at all those pies.
A pie. Yeah, I even got pies.
I've never really had a bunch of apple flavored stuff. I had fritters and a pie. And that's about it. That's about it. Not too crazy on pies. Or apples.
Spike. That's me.
I do like this moment where the music comes up for this chase sequence. It's a nice use in the mixing. But again, I would keep the bass level slightly lower. Or bring the audio, the voice, slightly upper. Taking audio classes, that's why I'm critiquing this.
I wish you wouldn't distort the laws of time and space. Shut up! They're my powers to abuse. Now lock everything.
Also, I'm thinking about the show, the original show, just how Twilight's power grows. Oh, this sound
Got it, you schmucks again.
will
Why
become
won't you go and just
synonymous
for 10 minutes?
so much later
Some
on.
diabolical spell
I love it.
cast to me. Oh, listen, Twi, y'all don't have to kill everyone in fire.
I mean, there's other ways to do it too. Fire just burns evidence.
We've all murdered someone once or twice without thinking.
Of
What
course.
about those tickets?
Happens every Tuesday.
Yes, yeah.
Flim Flams Philosopher. In Flim Flam Philosophy. And now Don's somewhere. He's never done this, by the way. No. Using the credit sequence to just talk about stuff, like talking about his work process, is also very unique. It gives you insight into his process, his life, his personality. And it's never boring to read those as well. Like, if you ever get the chance, if you haven't read those, just stop the video and just read those, because they are fascinating. So yeah, that was the first episode. Again, with any abridged series, the first few episodes are always going to be rough, unless you plan out ahead what you're going to be doing. Scooter Tricks, I think, is one of the few series that's very solid early on, in terms of editing and some of their humor. They work very well. But then with Mentally Advanced series, it really took about 5 to 7 episodes for them to finally hit their stride, to get the right feeling of the show. But we're gonna get there. I mean, we're only doing the first 5, which isn't quite where we want to be, but we're gonna be there in the next part. So yeah, let's hop into the next episode. Second episode, My Little Pony. Crazy Twilight. Pinky. Yeah, we're on the Drunk Applejack episode.
I cannot believe what a great
Most
deal I got
abridged
from
series
Applejack.
that did
Well, you know, I probably would share some of it with you.
this
But y'all know
episode
that you
always
just got
made
Jenny
Applejack
Silver,
drunk,
Oops.
with the exception of, I think, Scooter Tricks.
Well, I'm an adult and I can put forks in the toaster in the bathtub.
Yeah,
I do what I want.
that's the kind of attitude you want.
Stop it.
If you want to put your forks and toasters in a
Shut up.
bathtub,
I will drink all that.
go ahead. Don't actually. Quality sound effect right there. The green text for USP would be proud.
Ho. Aren't y'all
And now
worried about
teleport.
teleporting inside some pony?
Sound effect.
Guess not.
That's a good question, Applejack.
No. Okay, so what can I do for Applejack? Are you holding
I love
up
that
booze?
quote. What can I do
hold
you
the
for
most vodka whiskey for
your...
you? Missed.
Nah, you were close. You would have gotten it.
Crappy potato chips. You're the boss. I am the boss.
What brand do you think ponies use for their potatoes?
Yeah, what? Well, that must be cooking slang or something. This here that says rat poison?
Cyanide would do. You can get it from apples.
I keep it in the fridge so the rats do not catch them. Now, I ruined the baking trays!
Now, question, Pinky. Why do you want to ruin the baking trays? Anarchist, that's what she
So it's
is.
probably good for you. How's it hanging? Huh. Oh. Hey, what are you doing? Applejack, you have to admit that you've reached rock bottom. No, I don't.
I don't see any rocks.
Yeah.
So how's your day been?
I friggin'
Ooh,
hate
is this a change in
Well,
Fluttershy already?
we all hate Twilight sometimes.
That's closer.
She ignores me an awful lot. You want to talk behind her back?
Fat. What are we doing out here anyway?
Well, I want you to round up all the bunnies.
She's not quite
and
there,
keep
but
their
she's
heads on.
getting close.
You're a plague.
That's positive reinforcement to wake up to. Being called a plague.
So that thing, I built it with my hooves and my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Impressive.
me, I'm gonna stand on it. And then you're gonna jump
Yeah.
on the other side.
Ooh.
And if my calculations are correct, I should fly away from it and not into the tower. And then
Hopefully.
I'm gonna do a couple loops, and then a big
Generally,
one.
that's what
After
happens.
that, I'll probably panic. At that point, I'll need you to go and run for help. So it's a pretty planned out plan.
Still working on the voice, though.
What? Well, don't worry about it. Just climb the thing already.
I love this ending.
Okay, I'm just drunk enough for this.
Yeah.
Okay, jump.
Jump.
Okay. Yeah.
What a sound. What a sound. Yeah, I think this one is pretty straightforward. A general bridge of the episode itself. I think later on they start diverging, creating their own stuff. But here, it just seems the most like the episode itself. For the most part. Yeah, it works out. This long sequence at the end is still long. But the music's great. Alright, so that was episode 2. Already a bit stronger of an episode. You know, Greg at this point's a little bit more comfortable doing the voices. The plot just continues to follow the normal bridge story of the show. Main elements are different. Jack is drunk. Of the earlier episodes, I do really enjoy this one. It just... I don't know. It's fine. It's fun. But let's get on to the next episode. Alright. This should be the Gilda episode. I tend to find the episode numbers for the Method Advance series to be how I determine what episode it is, especially the first season. When thinking about the main show, like if I try to think about, what episode was this number in? I think of the Method Advance episode. It's like, okay, yes, that's what this episode is. I just had to think 2 episodes ahead. I'm not really a fan of this episode in any Bridge series, really.
Okay. I guess I'm
I don't know, I don't love Gilda. I don't love the prank
Don't kill anyone.
episodes.
There will be consequences for your actions.
This is also probably one of my least favorites for this series as well.
Come on.
Let's book it before she starts quoting Stalin. Now, Missy.
Man, you gotta love the early 2000s who aren't afraid. Sorry, the early 2010s who still aren't afraid to be slightly racist.
Listen here, pink hair. Screw off.
Pink hair. It's a mane. I'm pretty sure Greg just went crazy in the booth. If I'm not commentating a lot, it's just it's hard to talk about this episode because there's not really much in this episode.
I don't want to be cupcakes.
Yeah, Icarus, that joke.
Freaking business. What are you doing?
Because, you know, cupcakes.
Scream!
But the fanfic hasn't happened yet, so... How does Dash know? He's not dumb yet. She's not dumb yet.
Do you know how long it takes to do wet chemistry? Hours. It is the worst thing in the world.
Wet chemistry?
We have wasted her entire day.
I don't know much about chemistry. I don't think I ever took a class in high school.
Dash.
And here she breaks her hoof.
Stop.
It's mentioned later on in an episode of
The thing is,
Cupcakes.
I don't think I could make a love
Reminisce
potion even
presents.
if I wanted to.
Lies! Yes! You are holding out on me because
But she can make a love potion.
Who's filthy? You
Later
who's
in
filthy.
season 2, I wonder which came
It
first.
smells. It is all you are good for. For goodness sake, I thought maybe we were friends.
Only when one of us wants something.
Right.
Besides, I hate you. Understand?
I do love in this show that they don't show the first 2 episodes. They hear where you start off with them already knowing each other, that they're already friends.
I know I'm supposed to be studying friendship and all.
As literally every other Brit series starts with the first 2 episodes. And it does get tiresome
I am not. I am
when a
in
new
love.
one pops up. It's like, we gotta go through the first 2 episodes again.
You're at your place tonight.
Which is why I love Witchcraft, because they just jump around to whatever episode they want.
Are you planning something insane?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't even know why I asked. Probably because you are so beautiful. Come again? What exactly are you getting at? Hi.
I will not be repeating that.
Everyone,
Hope you got it.
Look at Gilda. Just look how
Write it
attractive
down.
she is. What is wrong with all of your stupid
Distorted audio!
People are making fun of you? You
Gotta love
baseball
it.
grass chewers?
No, I think that you're really just plainly beyond hope at this point. I mean, after all, I've noticed you eating an awful lot of fools since you started visiting. And I'm pretty sure that that might be illegal.
I see how it is. You want to be
This
the top.
is
And now
very...
you want to make me wear
Again,
the
it's a
sack.
very different
Don't forget
Dash
you then.
than what we get later on.
Hooray! My plan almost
Very
didn't work
different.
That way.
And that's the end of the episode. Yeah, I still don't love it. But it's still the episode. Alright, so that was episode 3. As I mentioned before, it's not my favorite episode. Generally, the Gilda episodes in general are my favorite because, like, it's the prank episode. I don't really care about the prank plotline. It's a tough one to just get right because just a lot of elements just aren't. They already aren't appealing, and so yeah, this is. I gotta say, this is definitely my least favorite of the show. It's the one I remember not liking the most. I wonder if there's gonna be more. We'll see. On to the next episode.
Oh, great. I think I've been captured by the town retards.
Ooh, back when the word was still something that was not frowned upon.
What did they say? Well, I'm a bit rusty, but I'm pretty sure they just told you that they really liked your hair.
Sure they do.
Wait a minute, are you sure? What exactly is going on? First Bubblegum Dancer was standing here, and then I stood next to her, and then some other ponies stood next to me.
We don't know why they even
and now,
showed
like,
up.
The whole town is here. Oh my god, something's happening. Oh hey, it's a magic pony.
When I was just
Oh,
young,
right.
both my
That's why they had the
parents
deep
traumatized.
voice, because she's
One day after a show,
like
a
Batman.
critic came and met my family in a dark alley. There, disgruntled
I
by
think,
my
like,
parents'
this
mediocre
version of
performance,
Trixie
he took
is
a
just
rock
the
and
most-
smashed both their heads in.
Yay!
I don't know.
From that day forward, I declared eternal vengeance on all drama critics everywhere.
So is this like the whole show?
No!
Good question. I like this version of Trixie being the struggling artist who doesn't have a lot of great ideas versus the Trixie who's just the annoying classic villain foil to Twilight. Like Blue Twilight, I think. Cause I wonder if Blue Twilight was just thrown out as well. But most Trixies are just mean, like the show. Here, she's just defending herself because she's an artist.
Lägg i lager potatis och fortsätt sen med lök och en
I'm not sure what the choice was to make these two German.
Yes, I am the best!
What? You know, I don't know what they say. Because we can't translate it.
I'll show Twilight. I'll stay up all night and feel like piss tomorrow.
You know, Spike has had, throughout the show, one of the most consistent voice, because it's the same accent. Same with Twilight. Like, very early on, it's the same voice. It's impressive how that just stays.
Twilight! Space Bear!
Space
Oh, I'm
Bear.
sorry, I can't hear this
With the Godzilla sound effect.
But there's a freaking Space Bear!
Oh my god, this is the worst day.
Space Bear. That's a word for it. That's a good word for it. Ursa Minor.
What gave you the impression that I would find
But
this
Space
casting
Bear.
attractive?
That's what you want to call it.
You know, I cannot believe how patient this space bear
Very patient.
He should
Very
get
patient.
or something.
That's why it's a child, because it's patient. Yeah, that's really the only time we see Trixie. I think it would really have been interesting to see if Mentally Advanced did more with Trixie outside of just in the 2 Mentally Advanced episodes, including Negative. Because seeing her in Rainbow Dash Presents could have been interesting. Like, even her appearance in the Nepotism Adventure series is interesting as well. So I don't know. I kind of like Greg's Trixie, but I don't really see much of it. All right, so that was episode 4, the Trixie episode. They are getting better. We're getting to that point where some of the voices are starting to get consistent. Spike here, I mentioned earlier, is going to sound consistent throughout the rest of the series. Even Twilight, for the most part. But yeah, on to the next episode. Alright, so this is the last episode we have going on for today. This is the Dragon Mountain episode. Many people believe that this is where the show starts hitting their stride.
Everyone, listen.
I personally think it could be episode 7,
But there's a giant black cloud of smoke.
but we'll see. This is where they get closer.
Right behind you. I'm sure that none of you were looking.
Bye, Twilight.
The smoke.
Love that.
And I want you all to know that if I don't come back, it's because I gave up. I probably
That's
skipped
a
town
good
because I
excuse
don't
to
care
give.
about you, and I want you all to know that.
So I believe there's a lot of fun
I feel
jokes in
like
this
the other thing
one.
that you guys should all probably know is that we're all gonna die, and I don't have any faith in you. I understand how you feel. I don't have any
It's
faith
just
in them either.
with everything we have seen of these characters so
I can
far,
be
it just
fine without Applejack.
makes so much
Oh,
sense.
Applejack's gonna carry our stuff.
Well, I think that Applejack should come with us.
Oh my god, when we can
I love a lot of the banter in this one.
fly down the dragon's throat and choke it to death.
That could be
Alright,
difficult
everyone, get lost. I'll meet you all
because
back
dragon's
here.
big. I don't know how she'd choke it. Well, she
This is
lodges
gonna be a long and
herself.
difficult journey,
sideways.
with no reward at the end. But at least you'll all die knowing that you were remotely good for something.
You forgot me.
Oh yes,
Oh yeah.
This
Of
is the
course,
big-
We've also got
this is the beginning of Twilight just forgetting
darling.
Fluttershy.
Well, how am I supposed to remember the names? Hey, what are you doing with that? And I'm gonna use it as toilet paper. Oh, fair enough.
Always love that moment. I just think about that all the time. That one moment, toilet paper.
Pinky, do you ever worry about being monodimensional?
Not really.
Oh.
Why do you ask?
Because
Yes.
during death in the
Yeah,
past,
yes, this does feel like
I realized
later
I'm a
on
little monodimensional.
in the show. Because they'll always just have these random conversations, even edited just like this, with just like the lip movement.
Hey y'all, I made it. We had a bit of a bathroom accident and Fluttershy hit her head. So I just picked her up and dragged her all this way on her back. I'm not a doctor, but come to think of it now,
That's-
that probably didn't do her any favors.
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's perfectly healthy to do that.
The thing is that I learned today that if you replaced all my friends with sliced bread, I'd still probably be miserable for some other reason. So if you could please find it in your heart.
That's just a weird thing to say. If you replaced my friends with sliced bread, I'd be sad for something else. It's a quote.
I have a better plan.
Ah yes, the poison lobsters.
The box is full of poison lobsters.
Twilight, can't you just use your magic powers to put the dragon to sleep, levitate it off a cliff, and then drop it on some sharp rocks?
No.
She probably could.
That's stupid. If it weren't, I would have thought of that. Okay, Pinkie Pie is going in.
Gotta love this show.
Hello, my box is full of poison lobsters.
I always found this ending here a bit anticlimactic, although it does show that Pinky's just
Filthy
very
dragon has been made no more. No way. You mean you got it?
crazy to the point that she'll just kill a dragon. But it's just a little bit anticlimactic. It just ends there. There's no ending back home. sister. So that's the end of the episode. So yeah, let's move on to the final thoughts. Alright, that was the first 5 episodes of the Mentally Advanced series. What did I think? Like I had mentioned during the reaction, the first few episodes of any abridged series is always gonna be the roughest. It's where, if you have someone who's new to this, who isn't as experienced with either voice acting or editing, even just writing or creating this new idea with the same footage, there's always going to be a few episodes where they find their footing, and these 5 episodes specifically is typically where Dawn Somewhere finds their footing. But yeah, overall, these are the episodes that I typically skip every time I rewatch reaction videos. Sometimes I'll watch them, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on if I feel like watching these episodes, and I normally don't, because while there is some fun stuff in them, it's by episode 5, you really need to get to episode 5 for it to just be quite to where their normal standard is, because you do see the struggle with the audio mixing, with the writing, with some of the jokes, because a lot of them don't land all the time, especially in the first 3 episodes. I don't think they work a lot, but you get to see the beginnings of what happens. Like, Rainbow Dash's voice is much different than what it turns out to be. We get to see how consistent some things are, like Spike's voice and even Twilight's voice. We see early mentions of small details and jokes that are going to be utilized heavily later on in Rainbow Dash Presents, and even just far later in the series. Overall, like, this was a fun like first step in this nostalgia trip. I don't know why I can't say these words. But yeah, I had fun. I was enjoying just watching these and just getting to finally react to these things. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, I kind of can't wait to just get to like my favorite episodes of these shows, because there's some good characters and good jokes. I believe the next batch of episodes for the next part of these reactions, we're gonna get to see the CMC, and the CMC are just phenomenal in any abridged series because they're always unique. Especially Sweetie Belle. Sweetie Belle is the one character that's different, that you just look out for in each series. It's like, oh, what are they gonna do? Is she gonna be a robot? Is she gonna be some kind of alternate being? A heavy metal drummer? Or just some high-pitched person? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, no. It's interesting getting back into reactions after just being done with it for so long. I haven't really done the proper reaction, especially with Facecam, really since the pandemic. So yeah, that's what I think we have so far. Again, these are fun stuff. I don't know what you've seen because I'm editing a lot of this down, just to get some pacing. That way you can get to the best reactions. Also, you know, the old style of Brony reactions just doesn't really work too much these days. Today you had to cut down some of the reaction to avoid copyright. Even though this is a fan-made project, it just, I think, would work better in the reaction if I just cut out the moments where I'm not really talking or there's not much going on. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this experience. If you guys have any ideas for other nostalgic properties for me to take a look at, let me know. Keep in mind, I have to have already seen them, and I doubt that I'm gonna do a blind reaction anytime soon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.